Right, so as promised, I wanted to show you that I've got some hoodies in. So these hoodies, these have got the new larger logo on them, so they look a lot better. I've got a couple of test items and I wasn't happy with the size of the logo. These hoodies are super comfy. They've got a fleece lining in them. They're nice and thick. They fit really nice. They're lovely and warm. They've got a nice big hoodie on them and a drawstring. Perfect for the autumn and the winter coming up. I'm used to working outdoors, so I've been testing these. So at the moment, these are available in 3 different sizes: medium, large and XL. In the future, we'll get 2XL and small, but for now, just medium, large and XL. They're like a fit-in and not too loose hoodie, but they're not a tight fit. So sizing wise, you know, you can stick to your size. If you like them baggy, go the next size up. If you want one, head over to my Instagram. The link is going to be in the description. Go and follow me on Instagram. Give me a message. If you miss out on the batch that I've just put up on my Instagram, on my story, then I'll put your name down for the next batch. Right, so welcome back to a new video, and as I promised you in the last video, this is going to be all about this Mitsubishi Evo 5, the first of the wide body Mitsubishi Evos. We're going to do a walk around. I'm going to tell you exact spec of the engine, all the parts that are in it already, and what the future plans with it. So if you ain't subscribed already, subscribe, smash that like button, and I hope you enjoy the video. So let's get started with the cosmetics. It's the first thing you're going to see on this car is the carbon fibre bonnet. So you can see, got aero catches fitted, nice carbon fibre aftermarket bonnet, carbon fibre Naka air duct as well. Super lightweight, weighs absolutely nothing. So you can see as well, got the Evo 5 bumper with the RS fog light deletes. We've got an air intake into the bumper at the minute. This is going to be removed because it doesn't do absolutely nothing. But we've got the headlights that have been smoked. You can see just a slight tint into the headlights, makes them look a lot better. So these are rotor G-force wheels. They're in an 18/9, and you can see that they've got Federal RSR tyres on. Super grippy tyres. So almost like a road semi-slick. These are in a 235/40 18s. They can fit a 245 on them, but you can see that they'll start scrubbing in the arches because these have got a proper aggressive offset, even with the wide body. I love the tread pattern of the RSR. When they push really hard on track, they do delaminate every now and then, so it's the only reason, but on the road they're absolutely perfect and offer a massive amount of grip. So we've also got everyone's favourite mod on these cars. These are genuine Ganador wing mirrors. You can barely see out of them. You can see tiny little wing mirror, but they look super cool. They've been painted black, as you can see. We've got the genuine Mitsubishi wind deflectors. They're like a pinky type colour. They do look good against the offset. It's not a colour that you would choose, but they actually do look good, especially as they're an OEM item. So you can see for the moment we're on the standard Brembo brakes. You see they're nice and big anyway, but we've got grooved uprated discs in there and uprated pads. So you can see the body is Scottier white. It's one of the nicest colours in the Evos. It needs a good polish up to get it right up to a nice high polished finish. At the minute it needs a clay bar, you can actually feel it, but it's not too bad. It looks like it has been looked after in its time. The original body, and it's very straight. There's hardly any dings or nicks in it. You see the big old spoiler on the rear. I love the way that these spoilers are adjustable, so you can adjust them for obviously downforce reasons on track. You can have them flat for the highway and whatever you want. So you take out this cover in the bottom of the spoiler, and then you can adjust what level you want the spoiler to angle at. So you can see this thing's running a lot of fuel at the minute. You see it on the bumper. Needs a proper polish up. Once that's polished up, that'll look mint. We've got the carbon surround also on the rear bumper as well, just to stop the heat build up from this exhaust system. So moving on to the interior, it's very clean inside. Hardly any marks on any of the seats. No burn marks or anything that you usually get for these 90 cars, where everyone used to smoke in the cars. One thing that's got to be changed very soon is this steering wheel. It's absolutely dreadful, and also the gear knob. This is like a dildo gear knob, absolutely rank, but that's going to be changed. Don't know why you swap an OEE item for that, but they're going to be swapped out. We've got AEM fail-safe air fuel ratio gauge, always needed them. So we've got oil pressure, water temperature and oil temperature. You can see that the door cards have been retrimmed in like a Recaro fabric. I think it looks pretty cool. Just a little touch. and you can see the back seats are absolutely mint as well. So it's pretty much a stock interior. They're very light anyway, these cars, as factory, so there's no point stripping them all out and making them uncomfortable. It's just a lovely thing to drive. And we've also got a carbon fibre cover for the centre console. Just looks a little bit pretty. Can't beat a little bit of carbon fibre. So here's the first look at the engine bay. So I wanted to show you completely as it come and untouched by me, not a single thing done yet. You can see it's a very untidy engine bay at the minute. You know that my OCD is kicking in crazy. I'm not liking this blue colour. These are all going to be changed and toned down to black. This powder coated blue just doesn't go on with the engine bay, so they'll be all painted black in the future. But for now, I'm going to run you through the engine spec. You can clearly see that there's been a ton done to it, but internally there's no way of you being able to tell. So I'm going to run you through the spec. You can see a nice big turbo down there. So let's first start off with the engine spec. Now this is the legendary 4G63 engine that you can make huge power if you do it right. At the minute, this is the 2.3 Norris design stroker engine. So that consists of a 100mm crankshaft. It's got Clevite race bearings in there. 150mm Manley I-beam rods, Norris design spec. We've got Norris design specs JE pistons as well in there, 2618 alloy, so super strong piston, 85.5mm. So we've got a scope, if anything ever went wrong, can still go to an 86mm. ARP main studs. It used to have a Norris design stage 2 head on it, but all that was taken out and put into another head because there was an issue with that head with the wire rings. It run a wire ring 1.6 Norris design head gasket, but that cut into the head with high clamping load, so that's been changed to a stock head. But the head has got 1mm oversized valves, bronze valve guides, titanium retainers, Norris design spec springs, and a Cosworth 1.3mm head gasket. So the head's bolted down with H11 head studs, so super strong, stop any head lift at super high boost, which is what we want to run in the future. And a nice set of Kelford 270-degree camshafts for extra flow. It pushes that power band right up top, which is perfect for these cars. It's still producing a ton of torque. See that big tubular manifold and the big turbo that's on there, which I'll explain in a minute. We're going to get rid of the heat wrap off the tubular manifold because I absolutely hate it. Looks terrible, and it looks like it's got a slight blow anyway from down here, so I want to investigate that. So you might be noticing it's got no MAF either. It's just got an intake pipe, which obviously means it's on an aftermarket ECU, which I will explain. So transmission wise, the gearbox is the super short ratio RS gearbox with an XZD Extreme trim plate clutch, so it can hold some serious torque. You can clearly see there it's got a tile blow off valve as well. It's got a stock transfer box with no diff in it at the minute, but on the rear we have an RS Evo 9 rear end. I'll show you under there. So that differential under there is off of the Evo 9 RS, and it's got the LSD in it, and it likes to get a bit tail happy, which is perfect for these cars, bit of oversteer. You can also see it's got a full 3-inch exhaust system, no resonator, just a small silencer on the back, and it really is loud, especially on boost. Right, so let's move on to the turbo setup. Now you can clearly see we've got a tubular manifold. This is all going to be taken off this heat wrap because it's absolutely pointless. This will be coated in a ceramic coating or a Zerkotech coating in black in the future, just because the engine bay is going to be properly toned down because it's very bright at the minute. You can see down there we have a FP black turbo. So you can see on the turbo elbow we have a true 3-inch downpipe with a separated wastegate pipe as well that goes straight back into the downpipe to stop like the screamer noise. You can see in there as well we have the wideband sensor straight into the downpipe, so we can get proper readings. Got a nice heat shield as well on the power steering pump. On the cam side we've got twin HKS vernier pulleys in purple, look really good, with a clear cam belt cover so you can actually see them through there as well. Looks really nice. Obviously we need to get the carbon fibre plug cover back on there. You've got a Tommy oil cap. These are just cosmetic stuff. You can see it had a Tommy fuel pressure regulator on there, but now it's got a Cytec one, so that's all set up and adjusted. You can see at the minute we're on a stock inlet manifold. That's going to limit to around 600 horsepower. and then we're going to go for a higher flow inlet manifold. You can see at the minute we have a nice big FP turbo on there. This is the black edition, trying to zoom in for you. You can see this is the black turbo, so it flows around 71 pounds of air, so it's a nice big turbo. You can see it's a stock frame turbo as well, and because it's the 2.3 stroker engine, it spools really well. 3,500 RPM, it's already on boost. 4-inch intake for that super high flow. You can see going into the turbo, and it's got an anti-surge compressor, and it also has a nice big air filter as well in there. This cold air feed is going to go because it's absolutely pointless. Fuel lines, you can see, have been changed to AN fittings and braided, so we're going to have the exact fuel that we need. You can see we have Injector Dynamics 1000cc injectors in there, so plenty of flow. They might need to be uprated in the future. We've got a Cusco strut brace on there, really pretty strut braces, really strong. So the coilovers are the D2 coilovers with plenty of adjustability. Really rides well on the road. It's not too harsh, perfect for what you need. Got a lot of wiring, little bits to do. You can see like bits that ain't been attached, and I think that one goes to the water temperature gauge, which is down here at the minute. You can see there's a boss in there for it. That's got to all be connected up. You can see we've got a breather system on there at the minute with braided AN fittings, and they've all been welded in to the cam cover. So it goes down the back there as well. And to keep this thing cool, obviously we needed a good radiator, so we've got a super thick core alloy radiator in there as well, and this carbon fibre surround that I've already removed off here looks pretty. And then you can see down the side here that we've got twin fans down there, so it's difficult to see at the minute, but I'll pop the bumper off in the future and I'll show you it. But we have a 3.5-inch ETS intercooler in there, just about see it through here, and that's been painted in black, as you can see. And then we've got a Mockle 27-row oil cooler. You can see it's got AM fittings and braided hoses and everything as well, just to keep the oil temperatures down when you're driving it hard. And then we come to probably the most important part of the car that runs the whole engine system, is the ECU. Now obviously we ain't going to stick a stock ECU in a car like that, so we have a Link G4 Plus, the full spec one. It has literally everything you can want on this ECU, and the great thing about it is because it's a plug and play ECU, goes straight into the stock connectors, no standalone engine loom needed, plug straight in. You can see it even goes straight into the Mitsubishi housing, so it's absolutely perfect. So this has got everything we need on it. I can plug it straight into the laptop. I've got the lead in the car, just pulled it out to show you because it's very hard to see it in the original casing. I can monitor everything that's going on, any sort of fault codes, can turn on rolling anti-lag, launch control. It's got a 6D fuel and spark table. It can be mapped by some of the best mappers in the country, and that's exactly what we're doing. This is going to go to one of my favourite mappers that I'll get all the high spec cars mapped by, and we will show you that when it's getting mapped. So you can see here the greatest thing about these ECUs, they're literally plug and play. So simple to use. These are the stock Evo connectors, and it's you don't have to make any sort of adaptation loom or anything. So it's brilliant for these Japanese aftermarket ECU systems. You can see this is the plug connector as well that comes, well, it doesn't come with, you have to buy it separately, and that's got the USB section on it, and it's got an integrated map sensor as well into the ECU to control boost. So moving on to the fuel system, you can see here we've relocated the battery to the boot, and also we have a great big fuel system with a big fuel swirl pot. Stop fuel starvation, especially hard cornering. These four-wheel drive cars can really corner hard. You can see you've got an external fuel pump as well, got a scavenger pump inside the tank. Loads of AN fittings, proper braided Teflon coated fuel lines, a billet fuel filter as well, and these lines go all the way to the fuel pressure regulator, so supplying plenty of fuel. I'm going to check this because it's smelly at the minute. It smells really fuely inside the car, so there's got to be some sort of slight fuel leak. Going to check around the fittings, but these are all the little maintenance things. You can see it's got the Cusco rear strut brace as well, so the fuel inside of things, if we ever get a problem, we could always put 2 pumps in there, but for now 600 horsepower is the goal. So at the moment the ECU is not controlling boost itself. It's running on, you can see, a Blitz turbo boost controller, and that's not what we want it to be running on. You can see there's loads of wiring all wrapped up down here, really untidy and everything, and I always notice silly things like that. But yeah, we want it to be running on the ECU, so it's got a fail-safe system. So in the future, that's all going to be changed over. So now you've seen the whole spec of the engine. There's a lot of things that I've probably forgot that I will remember in the future and I'll show you. So we're going to get the car started up now, leave the video with some exhaust noise, and then in the next video we're going to be doing some tidying up. I want to drop the oil, drop the filter, do some little engine bay mods and repairs. So that's going to be in the next video. So let's get the exhaust started up.